when a mom is bringing life into the world, her body, which is a temple of the Holy Spirit, in that moment, a life is being born, and for a short time, we become this intersection of heaven and earth. I'm trying not to get emotional, but I can't help it. The beauty of that, the kingdom come, God's will was done.
You got it. I did it. I did it. What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to my channel, and for tonight's video I am so excited. I've been counting down the days until I can make this video for you guys, and in tonight's video I am going to share footage from my home birth, my VBAC, and also just go into detail of what that looked like and what that consisted of. So if you guys have missed it, we've been in a little bit of a series the past 4 weeks now, and this is the final part of the series. So if you guys would like to go back and watch those videos, feel free to, or if not, I mean, this one's very exciting to watch. So if you guys don't know, I actually live in Haiti with my husband and my sons. I had to leave my husband for 4 months to go to America and have our second son, and that was super traumatic, super hard, and I faced a ton of hardship. Ended up getting stuck in the capital by myself, hospitalized there at 31 weeks, and almost had an emergency C-section there. So by the grace of God, it all worked out. But if you guys would like to watch those videos, feel free to, and if not, let's get into the video. So our story starts on September 9th, 2023, around 6:30 a.m. This morning I woke up and I'm starting to feel contractions, and this is a newer feeling for me because although this is my second birth, with my first birth I didn't really get to experience full-blown labor. So I was like, okay, this is it. They're staying pretty consistent, and I know what they are, and so I'm super excited to just be going through this. I had very high expectations that this was going to be a supernatural experience between me and God. I knew walking into this that he was going to show up, and it was going to be a beautiful experience. So I had light contractions all day. We got into the evening about 6:30 p.m. I called my midwife just to let her know, hey, they're about 3 minutes apart. Nothing too crazy though, not severe. I'm not in a lot of pain, but they are about 3 minutes apart. So just want to give you a heads up. And she said, okay, thanks for letting me know, but call me when they're more consistent and more painful. And I remember hanging up the phone, and I thought in my head, she has no idea. She has no idea I'm gonna have a pain-free birth, which I've heard can happen, but that is not my story. I got off the phone with her, and then I called my 2 friends who live about 2 hours from me, and I said, just so you know, I think, tonight or in the morning the baby's gonna be here, so if you guys want to come on down, spend the night, feel free to do that. Come labor with me. They just wanted to be there for me in whatever way they could, and I ended up having the best support team. So several more hours went by, ended up being around midnight, 12:30, and I give her a call, the midwife, and I just say, hey, contractions are still pretty consistent, feeling good. I remember, me and the girls are just sitting and laughing and talking in my room, and contractions are coming, and I'm breathing through them, and Emily's pushing on my back and getting me through them, but the atmosphere was so light. I had this worship playlist that my husband created for me, and it was very special to me because in this moment that was a way, my husband loves worship, so this was a way for him to just be there with me. And so I had the worship playlist going. I made it known to everyone that that's something that I wanted playing, and the atmosphere was very sweet, and you could feel God's presence in the room. So I called the midwife, and she came and checked me and said, okay, progressing well, everything looks well, but you're not very dilated. I forget where I was, but everything looks really good. And I was like, okay. And she ended up leaving because she had previously, I think the day before, had a birth where she was up all night. So she ended up leaving. I stayed with my support team, and everything was going well. I was feeling good. My mindset was good. That's the key. My mindset was good. And I remember my midwife, she said, call me when you can't speak. And again, I'm like, okay, well, lady, I'm gonna have a pain-free birth, so not gonna happen. Might miss the birth. I'm like Miss Optimistic over here. 3:30 a.m. came. And let me tell you, I understood much, much better what the midwife was talking about. I am miserable. I cannot speak. Wow, these contractions were brutal, brutal, but still had a great mindset. And I'm taking on these contractions as they come, and but they were really bad. And I just remember, I was exhausted. So it's about 3:30 a.m. I call her back. I didn't even talk to her. Emily was talking to her because I could not talk. And yeah, she told her, I think you need to get here. The contractions are closer together and Brooke can't talk. So the midwife came and she ended up checking me. And this is where things shifted. So it was 3:30 and she ended up checking me and told me I was in a lot of pain. She told me I'm only at 3 centimeters. And if you know anything about birth, 3 centimeters is still, you can progress from 3 to 10 fast, but on your first vaginal birth, probably not gonna happen. Like 3 is still like 3 is nothing. It's something, but it's not much. And I remember her checking me and telling me, you're only 3 centimeters. And while she was checking me, she actually moved my cervix forward because she said that my contractions weren't being effective. And so she moved my cervix forward, which was painful. And I just remember her telling me the news after experiencing that much pain. And I was so angry. I was so angry because I had this expectation of what this was going to look like and how God was going to show up, and what I thought was going to happen, it was going to be pain-free. And now I'm experiencing all this pain and I'm scared and I'm angry because I'm no further than 3 centimeters. And now I realize, okay, this child has to come out of me and I'm only at 3 centimeters, and I got scared. After that, the midwife ended up staying. I ended up telling everyone that I needed some alone time. I don't know how long I was in there, but I do remember that's when things changed for me. That's when I lost my optimism, my hope, my sight on God, my dependency on Him, and I was angry. And I was just sulking in that anger, and I wouldn't let it go. And I just kept focusing on, oh my goodness, this is gonna be so hard. If I'm at 3, this is gonna be so hard. And I just started letting that into my mind and into my heart. I shut off my worship music. I wanted everything quiet. I was very sensitive to sound and light. And I was just like LED lights, I was very sensitive to. And I just remember sulking in a way. Things really shifted from there. I went into my room. The contractions got way worse. Brutally worse. I remember I would go from the jacuzzi. My parents had a jacuzzi, which was so nice because you could keep it pretty warm the whole time. And then the exercise ball, I'd go to that and labor on the side of the bed. I hated laying down. I hated it. You cannot catch me doing that. I don't know if my next child will be different, but that is not for me. And the midwife just kept telling me, try to go lay down, try to sleep. And I couldn't. Most of the time I would sleep on the ball. Going from the ball to the jacuzzi, to the ball, to the jacuzzi, and I did that for hours. I don't know how long, but that's where I stayed. At one point, I'm on the ball in my mom's room. All of a sudden, I started having pain in my C-section scar. And if you know anything about a VBAC, that is not a good sign. I remember telling my midwife that my contractions are now localizing to my scar and I'm having a lot of pain. She told me during the contractions to pull up on my belly, and if that alleviated some of the pain, that the baby was just in a bad position, so that should help. And if not, it's not a good situation. I tried that and thank God it alleviated the pain, but I remember that situation just just seeing her face and knowing, you know, once again, the risk that was being run. But I did have a lot of peace in that situation. She gave me a solution, it worked, and we just moved on from there. The rest of the night, people were trying to get sleep. I was struggling, wanted to be alone. I'm battling through it and just shutting God off, which was just such a bad idea, to be honest. Yeah, I lost my head and I lost sight of my strength. I lost sight of my dependency, and it made things way harder. I was in my childhood bedroom on the ball, and Emily was sitting beside me. I remember looking at her in the eyes and just feeling so hopeless. And I had her hand and I said, I can't do this. And she looked at me and she said, okay, so what do you want to do? You want to go to the hospital? And I know she knew what I was going to say. I think it was just a way to get me to wake up, you know? Instead of giving into it, she's trying to make me think deeper. And I said, no, I can't go to the hospital. She said, okay, then you're gonna have to get it together. You're gonna have to keep your sight on the purpose and get to it. You can do this, you're strong, you can do this. And so that really helped me, because there was a point I did want to give up. I thought about it, but going to the hospital just was not an option. The midwife told me earlier that night, she said, you know, I delivered a lot of babies and they usually love to wait until the sun comes out. She's like, I don't know why, but that's how they do it. And I was hoping that I would have him in the night, you know, get some rest, but nope. I had him in the morning, and I remember being in my childhood room and being in just excruciating pain and looking out the window. I didn't have my phone, I didn't have a clock, nothing. But I remember looking out the window and just praying that the sun would come up, because once I saw that sun come up, I knew I was almost there. Sure enough, it came up, and I remember feeling such hope. And I said, okay, I'm almost there. I've almost made it. Just hang on a little bit longer. I know I'm tired. I know this is hard, but just hang on, because you've made it and the sun is here. That moment felt like, from then to my childbirth, it felt like a minute. After I saw the sun, I had no concept of time, but it felt like it couldn't be more than 30 minutes. And what's funny, I didn't deliver my son till I think 9:30. So not sure what time the sun came up at that time, but I mean, I'm thinking at least a good 3 hours between then and whenever I did have my son. I don't know, things just shifted. Once the sun came out, I feel like I had a renewed mindset. I knew I was almost there. And here we are to the best part of my birth. So I'm in the jacuzzi. I'm just going through the contractions, and all of a sudden my contractions shifted. No longer are they just pain without a purpose, but my body started bearing down all by itself. I was not being told to push. I was not being told, okay, you're 10 centimeters, go, let's go. I was on my hands and knees, and I just remember my body started bearing down, kind of like when you're dry heaving and you can't control that motion. That's how it kind of was bearing down. Like, it's not like you're trying to push, it's just your body did it. On each contraction, it turned from pain to just bearing down, and my body was pushing all on its own. And it was the most beautiful experience I can ever say I've experienced. It was life-changing, just that feeling and knowing my body is doing exactly what it was meant to do, and it was walking in the purpose that God designed it to do. And so that was a surreal feeling that I'll forever be thankful for. I told Emily, my friend, that my body was bearing down all on its own. She said, okay. So she went and got the midwife and told the midwife, and Megan, the midwife, was like, okay, let your body do exactly what it needs to do. And that's one of my favorite things about Megan. I think just showing you what you're capable of. And I loved that about her. She stepped back, she said, okay. She wasn't checking me, she wasn't saying, okay, now push. She just said, okay, do what you gotta do, mama. And that's what I did. And it was felt it. So from 3:30 to 8 a.m., I was just shut off. I was angry, and I chose to do it on my own. Because of that choice, I was facing the consequences. Not because God is like, oh, okay, you think you're something, I'm gonna show you. No. I have free will, and I'm shutting my father out. And I shut him off. And around this time, I think maybe around 8, I don't know, 9, I have no concept of time. But I finally surrendered. And I do believe that people in the room physically, tangibly felt the shift. The presence became so sweet. At that moment, it was just me and God. And it was such a powerful experience. I entered into a place so holy and sacred, it almost felt like I wasn't on this earth.
Good job. Breathe the baby down. Good job.
Disconnect.
Who?
His phone.
No, he's just on mute. Like he's
okay.
like there, but he might be around the kids or something. So he's here, but curious. He heard us talking about him. He got down. Good job, down. Yes.
Is there a better pose I could be doing or no?
You know what would be good? Stay like this, but put one of your feet up.
Like sitting like this.
Yeah. You're doing great.
Tired.
Your body's doing it. And if you want to go to the bed and rest and push, you can do that too. Like on your side or.
Good job. That's perfect.
Oh God.
All that pressure. That's
Oh, I popped.
good. Water broke.
God, help me, please. Father,
He's
oh God, help me, please.
You get that?
Father, I need you. I need you, Father. It popped.
Good.
Father. Oh God. I need you. I need you, Father.
You're doing great.
We've got crown, but the head is not fully up, so we got baby to their nose.
Perfect. Yep.
Okay.
Baby,
Okay.
yeah,
That's
baby is safe.
perfect.
Baby is safe. Baby is safe.
And when the baby's out, I'm gonna bring the baby through your legs. So
Okay.
wait till the next contraction.
Go ahead, bite me. It's fine.
Yep.
Good job.
Baby's out. Bring your baby up.
Watson, I did it! 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 Oh, I did it! I can't do this. I can't leave him. I can't do this on my own. I can't. I did it. They just told me you can. You know, you're strong. You can't do this. And God's gonna be with you and you can. I did it. I did it. 3 people I had never met. I had to leave my 1-year-old son in Port-au-Prince. I did it. And the Lord told me right there, if you stay, your child will die. I did it. Thank you, God. I did it. I did it. I did it. I did it. Oh. Mom is here, baby. Mom is here. Mom is here.
A mom is bringing life into the world. Her body, which is a temple of the Holy Spirit. In that moment, a life is being born, and for a short time, we become this intersection of heaven and earth. I'm trying not to get emotional, but I can't help it. The beauty of that, the kingdom come. God's will was done.
Alright. You can stay in bed. Are you sure? Yeah. It's a boy. Oh. It's a boy. It's a boy. Oh my word. It's a boy. Another boy. I made it. I'm alive. Can I see a kissy? I know a lot of times people are like, oh, it's our curse as women, you know, if you're familiar with the Bible. And no, not at all. Not at all. I actually discovered a side of God in full surrender, that the life that I live, this crazy intense life here in Haiti, and I'm constantly having to be dependent on Him and surrender to Him, nothing compared to my childbirth and being that surrendered to the Father.